Number 2, Quentin Johnston.
Ooh.
This is Coach Steve's number 1 wide receiver. John's third. Dan's is second. 3 seasons, 115 receiving yards, about 2,200 receiving yards, 14 touchdowns in 2022, 60 receptions, 1,069 yards, 6 touchdowns. He didn't run a 40, so he's playing with our emotions, guys.
Not at the combine, at least.
Not at the combine. So pro day specialist. Coach Steve, what do you got on Quentin Johnston? Your number one
So like I
receiver?
mentioned a lot, like we've all mentioned, a lot of these wide receivers in this class are small, skinny guys. Quentin Johnston is not a small, skinny guy. He's a big guy in terms of what is shown in this class here. I mean, he's someone that when I watched film on him, my eyes lit up. You know, somebody has playmaking ability. You know, he's got a rare size, speed, and quickness to his game, elite speed, even though we didn't see the 40 time here, but on film, you can see the speed there. He has that X factor ability. And now people might bring him down because he played at TCU and why they obviously were really good this coming season here. Year prior, you really see that he didn't really do too crazy in it. You know, you saw 1,000 yards and 6 touchdowns this year. I mean, 2 other seasons, he had just about 1,000 yards and 8 touchdowns. So, you know, just this year was his big breakout season. It was a little bit later in his career compared to some other guys that in this top tier range who broke out in a younger age. But, you know, I think I can see him really being a number 1 wide receiver and for an NFL team, like a true wide receiver 1 for an NFL team. Well, everyone else on this list here obviously are really, really good, but I don't know if they're actually going to be true wide receiver 1s. I think Johnston can do that and will be a wide receiver 1 at the next level here for whatever NFL team takes him.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I love Quentin Johnston. When we get to the top 3, I think all 3 of them are good prospects. It's just you have to slot them in somewhere. And for me, the only having 1 year of 1,000 yards and it being just barely over 1,000 yards, that's the only knock on Quentin Johnston I have. Is I'm like, yeah, you're really good. You're unbelievable. You're super strong. You're physical. Good route runner, strong hands at the catch point, good release, all the things you want to see. It's just I wish I saw more of it on film so then I could have my conviction on going into the NFL. That's the only thing. Other than that, but if he goes to the NFL and lights it up, I wouldn't be shocked. I mean, he's built like it. He's an absolute monster. 6'3", I think I have him 6'3", 210, which is, yeah, it's great. So my only concern and my only knock why I have him below the other 2 is just the 1 year of 1,000, little over 1,000 yards.
Yeah, I say that out of the big 3 for me, Quentin Johnston is the most likely to bust in my eyes. Just in the way he wins and, you know, the role he will fit at the next level. My concern for him now, me and my buddies at work, we became big TCU fans this past season. We were betting a lot on TCU every Saturday. It became our tradition. And he disappeared in a lot of games. As much as he had highlights, I think he also disappeared a lot. He had 5 games this past year where he had fewer than 30 yards, and he had 3 games with fewer than 4 receptions. And I would like to see more out of him. And as we've said many, many times in this podcast, the frame issues with this class are going to elevate a player like Quentin Johnston into top 18 draft capital when it comes to April 27th. And he's going to be a first round pick in all your rookie drafts. Let me put it this way. If I was in 10 rookie drafts and I had the chance to select Quentin Johnston or any of these other wide receivers, I would take him in maybe 4 or 5 just to spread out the risk. Because I feel like if I had to pick one player from the top 3 to be a bust, it's going to be Quentin Johnston in this draft class. Now, listen, I'm not saying I hate him. You know, if he drops me at the end of the first round, I'll happily take him. But, you know, just not super high on Quentin Johnston. I know I have him ranked 2nd, but as I'm talking about this, I'm going to go adjust my rankings after we get off the show.
It's funny you say that. I have on here high variance outcome.